As I'm sitting here typing. Just wanted to make sure that the next person for the webinar at 4 o'clock, Karen, is getting on. So I wanted to make sure she was ready. So I was typing to get her here. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please get on. I mean, please say hello. You know, and so I can make sure everybody is there listening to me. So I'm all pumped up. This virtual summit has been going awesome. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for coming and listening to all of the different webinars. I'm just like so thrilled that everybody's participating and being involved. All right, just the power of the social media and the power of like online marketing and the power of like getting out and be able to teach people without even leaving your office. Isn't that awesome? You know, so I know a lot of people are going to be logging on for the storage one. All right. So everybody says, okay, Michael's saying hi, Lisa, Arthur's there. Everybody's coming in. Everybody's coming in. Awesome. Good, good, good. Okay. I'll give everybody just a minute or two just to get started, and then and just to get into the webinar, so I can introduce myself, because I want to make sure that everybody you know, knows who I am and stuff, because there's a lot of people that I know that are just coming in from the outside world, because I've been marketing this storage webinar to a lot of different people. So I want to make sure everybody can hear, everybody's getting on. Storage investing has allowed me to do so much. I have so much free time now. I'm no longer rehabbing. All right. All right, and we're going to get into this. I'm no longer rehabbing. I'm focusing on storage facilities. Okay, so and I want to get into the story behind why I'm doing that. Okay, so welcome everybody. My name is Stacy Rossetti. If you do not know me, my name is Stacy Rossetti. I'm the owner of the South Atlanta REIA, and my contact information is right there. Stacy@stacyrossetti.com is my email. So if you ever need to get a hold of me, you can always email right there. I'm always answering my emails. And well, not always, actually. I have somebody that answers my emails for me, just so y'all know. But that's another thing that we can talk about as well too. This past year, in like maybe 3 months ago, I hired somebody to answer my emails. If you can, please say yes, I can hear you. Okay, good. If you can hear me, because some people have an audio. If you're having an audio issue, that's on, I think it's on your end, because I think it's working here for us. Okay. All right, I'm going to get into that now. I'm going to get into myself. Honestly, I really don't like to talk about myself that much, but I think for this situation, it's pertinent so that you guys know who I am and where I came from. Okay, so First of all, the most important thing about me is that I am a mommy and a wife, first and foremost. All right. There's my husband, Pete. If you come to the South Atlanta REIA meetings, you'll be able to see him, meet him. And actually, if you come to the South Atlanta REIA meeting, you'll be able to meet Lillian as well, too. Because for 2020, we are offering daycare for the South Atlanta REIA. Okay. I was talking to a lady on the phone the other day, and she was like, I can't come because my husband works Wednesday nights. I've got 2 kids, and I can't afford to pay for daycare. And I was like, you know what, that's it, I'm going to just take care of daycare as well too. All right, I want my motto for 2020 is no excuses. All right, so I told her, I was like, that's it, we're getting daycare. So I talked to Lillian's nanny, and I said, would you be okay if you just come, like, instead of watching Lillian, by yourself, you just come to the meeting, the main meeting, and you just watch anybody's kids that, want to be watched or whatever. So she's like, yeah, I'll do that. So we just everybody can give her a little bit of a donation. I'll pay her like a flat fee, and then everybody can if you have kids, you can drop them off, and then they'll have something to somebody to play with. And then I told her that she can come up with some projects for money and stuff, and she can start teaching kids about money or whatever. So anyways, I'm super excited. So the most important thing now is for 2020, all right, for me personally, all right, it's my goal is just all family. And we started this process in 2019, January of 2019. My husband and I got together, and we decided that our purpose is Lillian. Our why is Lillian, and everything that we're going to be doing is about her. If you cannot hear, I would say get out and then come back in, because everybody else can hear. Okay, I just put that in. If you can't hear, get out and come back in. Okay. All right. So our purpose is Lillian. All right. That's it. That's it. Our purpose is Lillian, and to make sure that she has the best life that she possibly can, so that you saw earlier in my presentation earlier, I want her to become a kind, loving, generous, compassionate person. And the only way to really do that is to make sure that we teach her all the things that we want, spend time with her, have her, because when children grow up, it's all about just like the feeling that they have, right? They don't remember everything, but they remember that feeling, right? So that's kind of what we want to focus on, is that feeling. Anyways, so yes, I do live in a tiny house. All right. I've gotten a lot of questions about this. Everybody wants to know what's going on with me in 2019. This is another decision that my husband and I decided, is that we are going to give up everything that we own. And we are going to downsize everything that we do, and we are going to move into a tiny house, right? So it's not really super tiny. It's 600 square feet, so it's not like super big. It's in the mountains. It's in the North Georgia mountains. And that's exactly what we did. We literally, starting in like April of last year, we started to sell all of our products. Right? How many pieces do you guys think somebody has in their house? How many pieces of items? How many items? So put the number in the chat. If you can come up with a number, any number, if you could count all the stuff, everything that you have in your house right now, what would the number be? All right, what would the number be in your house? Okay. So my husband and I, we decided that we wanted to sell everything, downsize, and actually our goal for 2019 was no bills. No bills. That's our goal. All right, and that's our goal. We achieved that goal. All right, for our personal life, and almost for our business life as well too. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But so basically we started selling stuff, and oh my gosh, it took forever for us to sell everything. Okay, now, and another reason this has started coming about is because we started having these storage facilities. We started buying all these storage facilities. Okay, and then we would see all these people with all of this stuff, right? And they're just putting this stuff, and we would open, when nobody pays, and then you go through the auction process and you open up the door and you see all the stuff that's inside the storage facility that people are paying every single month for years and years and years, on the stuff that actually they didn't even need in the first place, right? So my husband and I just started talking about this. We were looking around in our house. We live in a 2,400 square foot house, beautiful, on 10 acres with a guest house, beautiful piece of property. I love that house so much, but it just was, over the course of 10 years, accumulating more and more and more stuff. Does anybody ever feel that way, right? Look around in your house. Sometimes I was just like, oh my God, I have so much stuff, And so we just decided that that's it. We're done. We're selling everything. All right. So it took us a minute. It took us a while, and it caused a lot of stress actually between me and Pete, because Pete does not like to throw things away. Oh my gosh. And so he'd be like, "Why are you selling the crock pot?" We get into an argument about that stuff. But anyways, we decided to sell everything, and we decided to just focus on Lillian. No bills, and focus on the family. Okay. So how many items does somebody have in their house? I'm going to tell you, on average, you have 250,000 pieces of items in your house. 250,000, right? So nobody in the chat came close to even what you have. All right. You couldn't even count all the stuff that you have in your house, because it's way too much. It's way too much. But we love you. We love people. Storage facility owners love people that have crap and stuff in their house. And you know what? We love Christmas time, don't we? We love Christmas time because guess what? You're going to buy more stuff to put into your house. You're going to have to figure out where to take the old stuff out to put it to because you got so much new stuff, right? Okay. Yeah, so 250 around on average 250,000 items. So think about this now. Think about this, okay? So I'm a mommy, I'm a wife, all right? And then I start getting into storage facilities and I start seeing all these people like buying all this stuff. And then my husband and I, we just decided that's it. We are not going to be like that person. All right. We're not going to be like a person. And then we move into a tiny house so that we can just have no bills. Right. So basically we have internet. We don't have a TV. We haven't had TV in ever anyway. So we've never had TV, but we have internet. We have water and electric. That's it. We paid this house cash. So we have nothing, no mortgage or anything like this on this house. Okay. So literally we have 3 bills every single month. Now, who here, if you ever dreamed about having something like that, just say, hell yes, I want to have no bills as well too. And the purpose of doing this as well too was time. All right. Because we had 10 acres. We had this house that we had to keep up with and the maintenance to do all that stuff. And it was just, the house was not getting taken care of the way that we wanted to. And we were always, we love to work. We want to work, we don't want to, and we want to spend time with Lillian. So the house is just being put to the wayside. It's not being taken care of. Right. So it's all about time. It's about spending time with your family. It's about having the money to spend time with your family. And it's about creating a life and an income that you want to have so that you can do these things. We talked about in my last presentation, my husband and I, our goal is to travel. Right? Our goal is to have one large 4 to 6 week vacation a year and to have every single month a mini vacation. Right? And we do this. Storage facility has allowed us to do this. If you do it right, if you understand how to do it and you know how to manage it and buy them, then you can do this and have a life like this. Okay. And it's about passive income, right? True passive income. All right. Okay. All right. On to the next slide. Hang on. Did I get y'all pumped up? Did I get you pumped up for storage facilities? Now, South Atlanta REIA. Everybody knows the South Atlanta REIA now. You've been on the virtual summit. You're listening to me. It's awesome. Thank you. So I just want to let you guys know, first of all, my passion, of course, is education, to teach people, to help people and impact people as much as I can. The purpose of the South Atlanta REIA is affordable financial literacy. So please join the South Atlanta REIA, become a member, become part of this community, and then check out all of our sales, right? We've got for non-members the Black Friday sale. We've got the Cyber Monday sale, which is the wholesaling course. And then we've got Action Taker memberships. So you get 3 months free. All right. So that ends today. All of the sales end today. So you've got to do that today. All right. And let's see next. Okay. Do I work? I already told you guys I don't work. Right. My goal is to not work. My goal is to spend time with my husband and my daughter. All right. Passive storage facilities allow you to do that. Storage facilities allow you to be able to do this. Right. So I work 15 days a month. That's it. All right. I work 15 days a month. And then the other times I'm mentoring, I'm coaching, I'm building lists. Yes, I'm a list builder. And I'm traveling, right? We have an RV and we travel around and just spend time together. And we go to different countries. We travel the world. We do all kinds of stuff, right? So you want the ultimate end goal in investing is you want passive income, right? You have to have active income. We talked about multiple streams of income. You have to have active income so you can get the bigger checks and get those booms every once in a while. But the passive income is what's going to afford you the time and the cash flow, right? Okay, and then so who am I? Yes, I'm an investor. Okay, so I've been investing now for 10 years. I started out rehabbing, and I've rehabbed so many houses over the past year. And then a couple of years ago, in 2017, I said, that's it, I'm done. Guess what happened in 2016? I got pregnant. Or I got pregnant with Lillian, right? And at that time, I had 20 rehabs going. 20 rehabs. And in my mind, I was thinking, how in the hell am I going to have 20 rehabs and have a newborn? And so what happened was I had to hire people to manage and do all that stuff. And then when you start creating this overhead and you start hiring all these people, guess what? You have to pay all those people. Or you're going to pay them all. So everybody was being paid for the first year that Lillian was born. And then I was not getting paid, right? But I was running the business, right? So after that first year, I stopped buying rehabs. Because I want, if you run a rehabbing company, now if you just do a couple at a time, okay, maybe. But I was doing like 15 to 20 at a time. So I just stopped it. I stopped buying houses. My last house was bought the summer of 2017. And then I started looking around for ways in 2016 when Lillian was born, looking around for ways to start making passive income. Luckily, my realtor that I work with, I've been working with now for 10 years. He's just my realtor. He found a storage facility in Fayetteville, and we're going to go over that here in a little bit. He found a storage facility in Fayetteville that had been on the market for 5 years and nobody had bought it. All right. And he sent it to me. He said, Stacy, I think this is a good opportunity. Now, they're pricing it really high, but it's been on the market for 5 years. So I think we can do something about this. And I said, okay, I'll go take a look at it. Because I was looking, I told him, I said, send over apartments, send over whatever, anything passive income, send it to me so I can start looking for it. Because I just knew that I needed some active income, but also passive income as well, too. All right. So I was rehabbing. I was trying to finish up all those rehabs, trying to be able to make more time for myself so that I could spend time with Lillian and be with her. So I am a storage facility owner. I had a commercial building at the time. I had some commercial buildings. I sold all those. I've actually sold all of my rentals except for one, and I just focus now for passive income storage facilities in the investment side and land. There's two things that I do: storage facilities and land. But for up until the last couple of years, I was doing rehabs, wholesaling, rehabs, wholesaling, rehabs, like that. Okay. And then every once in a while, I'd buy some property would come across my plate for like a rental and be like, yeah, okay, I'll just buy that one too, or whatever. Until then, now I've sold all of my rentals except for one, and I put all that money right into storage facilities. Is what I did. Okay. All right. Now, okay, so storage facilities. Everybody wants to know, how in the heck do you find storage facilities? All right. How do you buy storage facilities? What kind of marketing do you do for storage facilities? Okay. Now, finding storage facilities is actually very easy. It's not difficult at all. It's time consuming, but it's easy. Okay. So you have to spend some time doing a couple of different things. Number one is searching online for stuff that's for sale. All right. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. And number two is driving for storage facilities. And in fact, I'm buying my 6th storage facility now. And that one I found just driving around. And I bought one. Okay. So Fayetteville and Noonan were online. And then all the rest were driving for storage facilities. All right. So, and then what you want to do is you just want to drive around and look for storage facilities. And guess what? When you do that, how easy is it? Because when you look at the sign for a storage facility, guess what's on the sign? Guess what's on the sign? All right. The phone number is on the sign. And if they're smart, also the website. But most of them that you're going to be buying are not smart like that. Okay. So you probably most likely will not find the website. Now, if you come to my storage facilities, you will see the website on the sign. All right. But the ones that you want to buy, there won't be a website on the sign. There'll be maybe a phone number on the sign. Okay. Now, when you're driving around for storage facilities, you are not going to be going and driving around and looking for Cube Smarts, Public, what are they called? Public, name, if you guys can, in the chat, name all the storage facilities that are like kind of the bigger ones and put them in the chat for me right now, okay? So all of these big ones, U-Haul, Cube Smart, all these different ones, okay? So I'm going to get into that in just a second. All right, hold your horses, I promise. Now, Cube Smart. So what you're going to do to drive for storage facilities, and then Sean, I know you say where online. Everybody wants to go online to look for stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, the ones that you want to buy are not going to be online 95% of the time. 95% of the time, the ones that you want to buy or wholesale will not be online. You will have to drive around to find them. All right. Repeat what I just said in the chat room, especially you, Sean. All right. So everybody needs to understand driving for storage facility is the new driving for dollars. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to Google storage facilities in your area. All right. And you're going to look on Google Maps, and you are going to say storage facility, and it's going to pull up all the storage facilities that are on Google Maps. And then you're going to blow that up, and let's just say do it in like whatever, a 30-mile radius or whatever you want to do, and blow it up and look at it. 95% of them, let's say 90% of them, are going to be like they said, public storage, U-Haul, whatever they're called, extra storages or whatever. When you go online, all right, and you start looking on Google Maps for the storage facilities, all right, the ones that know what they're doing are going to be on Google Maps. Now, has anybody here put their company on Google Maps before? If you have, say yes. I'm on Google. I'm on Google Listings. I'm on Google Listings. I'm on Google Maps. If you have your company on Google Listings or on Google Maps, then put that in the chat. Okay, so if you do not know how to do this, it is very difficult to do this. It is not easy to do this. I mean, it's not difficult. It's not difficult, but it's like not easy. Google does not make it easy for you to go and put your stuff online. If you are like an old 80-year-old, 70, 80-year-old guy that owns a storage facility and has owned the storage facility for 20 years, do you think he is on Google? Has his storage facility on Google? No, because he don't know how to do it. All right. Okay. So the ones that you're going to find are not going to be on Google Maps. But why do you have to go to Google Maps to look then, right? Because it's going to pinpoint where all of the other ones are going to be. And so what you're going to do is map out your driving radius, and then you're going to say, and you can't do a lot of driving in a day, all right? You can do like, within a certain range. So you just drive, how long do you think you can drive for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours? I mean, I go out for like 6 hours and drive around is what I do. I love driving for storage facilities. I just love it. And I'm in the North Georgia mountains, so I drive around, and it's like, it's like a little trip, But anyway, so you drive around, and you're going to pinpoint all the ones that are on the map. So you kind of know where all those are. And I'm going to tell you where those are near where the ones that are not on the maps are. Wherever there one is on the map, most likely there's one not on the map. So now you can't listen to books when you're driving around. You can't listen to the music when you're driving around. You have to be focused and look around for these, because the ones that you find, the abandoned storage ones, the ones that are old and run down and just not looking good or whatever, right? Just like driving for dollars, driving for houses, it's the same exact thing for storage facilities. You have to be aware and look and drive around. And then sometimes there'll be a sign there, right? And sometimes there will not be a sign there, right? So we'll get into that in just a second. But essentially, I want to map everything out. Step 1, map everything out, map all the storage facilities. And then step 2, try to figure out how far and how much you can drive. And then step 3, you're going to drive around, and then you're going to find them, the ones that are not on the map, right? By looking around. And then you're going to call them. right? You're going to call them up. The phone number is on the sign for, like, let's say 80% of them, okay? The phone number is right on the sign, right? And you can even start making a list of, if you see them that are not like CubeSmart extra, what storages or whatever, if they're like, kind of bigger, but they're not like chain stores or whatever, something like that, if they're not like the chains ones, you can put those down and you can call those later and just talk to them, because you just never know. They might want to sell as well too. All right. But if you notice when you're driving around, you'll notice too, I was driving around the other day, and I drove around and there was like an A1 storage or something like that. I was driving around and I went to one. I was like, ooh, that looks like a good one, A1 storage. And then I started going around and I saw that he had like 3 or 4 or 5 of them. And so it was like, they weren't like super big, but I put that on the list anyways. And I called up and somebody answered the phone, and it was not the owner, not the owner. Okay. When the owner does not answer the phone, most likely they are not going to sell. All right. But sometimes they will. You just never know. But most likely they're not going to sell, because, I mean, they may want to sell, but the person that's answering the phone is always like, yeah, I'll give them the message, and then like never gives the message anyway. So kind of like if they answer the phone, if somebody answers the phone that is not the owner, all right, that most likely is somebody that's not a good leader, like a B or a C. Okay, that's a B or a C, not an A. Okay. So you want to drive around and you want to find all of them that are on the map. Now, when you're driving around and looking for storage facilities, like for me, I drove around for 6 hours the other day and I found 41 facilities not on the map. Not on the map. All right, 41 in a 6-hour period within like a 2-hour range of like, it's like maybe an hour and a half to 2-hour range of my house. 41, right? So, and then you're going to make a list of, or it's actually what I do is I take a picture of the sign, right? And some of them, if it looks like a good one, I just call them up like right then and there. Like I'll be like, okay, this one looks like this is old. It's looking old, looking run down. Now, you don't rehab storage facilities. Most of the time, I say 95% of the time, I'm not going to get in there and rehab it, fix it up, clean it up or whatever, right? You're not going to do that. What you're going to do is you're going to go in and like, you're going to manage it, properly manage it, right? That's what you do with storage facilities. You properly manage them, okay? So you're looking at it, and it may, like, for instance, I have one for sale right now in Dublin that I'm trying to wholesale. And like, you look at this storage facility and it's like a nice storage facility, right? It's a really nice storage facility, but the owner is like 80 years old, and he doesn't want it anymore. He doesn't want it. And it's only 44 units, and it's got enough space for parking. It's got a huge, like, it's got 3 acres, and then it only takes up like 1 acre for the facilities or whatever. So there's a lot of potential and stuff there, but it's a really nice facility, so it's not run down. But you can tell when you look at it that it's like a one owner small facility. All right, so these are the ones that you want to look for. These are the ones that are going to be value add. Right? Value add. Write that down. Value add. Okay. So, and you want something where you look at it, it's like, okay, yeah, I can buy it, but am I going to be able to make money on it in the long term on value add, right? So I'm going to make that monthly income every single month, but I'm also going to get that value add. Okay, so that's what you're going to look for. So I'm going to get into all these questions that everybody's asking, I promise, but I wanted to make sure that you understood what you were looking for, because a lot of people are like, the first step is how do you even find these things? Where do you go to look for them, right? How do you know if it's a good deal or not? So that's what we're getting into now. Okay, now another thing is you can find them online. Right? So there are storage facilities on the MLS. My very first one is from Fayetteville, and that one was on the MLS. So there are deals on the MLS. Few and far between. I'm telling you, there's not a lot of storage facilities on the MLS. All right, but you can look, and there are all these websites here where you can look for storage facilities for sale. So Sean, here you go. Here's your list of storage facilities. I mean, this is your list of website where you can find storage facilities for sale, and you can look and see. Now, most of the time, these are all represented by brokers and realtors, and okay. Sorry, my husband just came in. I'm going to close this door real fast so that we can. Sorry, guys. Okay, so these are all online. These are all represented by brokers. Okay, so when you tell like a realtor is a realtor, a broker is a broker, right? So like they're gonna just like they have to pay for themselves, and actually like commercial brokers make like I think 8%. 8%, not 6%, not 3 or 4 or 5%, 8%. It's 4% on each side, right? So they got to make sure that they make their cut, right? And then they're just like realtors and brokers anyways. They think they get more money than what they actually are worth. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like to drive for storage facilities, is because in the end, most of the time what you find online is going to be probably overpriced. Okay. All right. Oops, I keep doing that. Okay. Now, are you a self-storage nerd? Oh, me too. I'm a self-storage nerd. All right. So I want to make sure that you guys know about selfstoragetalk.com. And then also, yeah, see, exactly, 10% from biz brokers. So selfstoragetalk.com is a nerd website for nerdy storage facility owners like me. And Facebook and LinkedIn have great groups for storage facilities. So if you are interested in getting into storage facilities, I highly recommend that you search in Facebook and LinkedIn storage facilities or storage, whatever, and just join all those groups as well too, because great communities, and there's a lot of people out there that are sharing all their information. You can ask any question that you want, and you can start just reading all of the questions and reading all the answers from everybody too, and you can learn so much by doing that. So highly recommend that you get into the Facebook groups that are for storage facilities, okay? And then, okay, so now, all right, so now we're getting into due diligence, okay? So first of all, you want to be able to, with storage facilities, is you want to be able to, talk to the seller, talk to the owner, actually talk to the owner. So that's the main thing, is getting hold of the owner. All right. And actually, when the owner answers the phone, this means they have no idea what they're doing. Right now, unless they're doing something like Pete and I right now, what we're doing is we're answering our phones because we're in the process right now of trying to improve our systems. And so we want to see like what kind of questions people are answering. So we have an office manager that answers our phones and stuff. But I told Pete, as I go, for 1 month, we're going to answer all the calls and see what is coming in so that we can internally improve our systems so that we can, and that's what we've been doing from now for like the last month, is really trying to improve our systems, because we have 6 storage facilities. So when you have 1 storage facility versus 6, it's a little bit different, right? You got to like internally do stuff. But anyway, so most of the time, if an owner is going to answer the phone, this means that they have no idea what they're doing. All right. And you don't want to answer your phones, okay? Even if you only have 1 storage facility, right? You don't really want to answer your phone. Now, in the very beginning, when we first started, all right, the very first storage facility that we bought, the Fayetteville location, we answered the phones. All right, because we needed to like figure stuff out and stuff too. So yeah, for the first 6 months or so, we answered the phones and tried to figure out all the questions, that everybody was asking, and set up our systems and all this stuff like that. So yes, that is fine. But in the long run, you should be answering the phone, because they do call. Literally, people call all throughout the day. Right, so you can't live your life by answering the calls all the time, okay? So the goal is to get a call center or to get somebody to answer your phones for you, right? Okay. Now, when you call up a storage facility owner and you talk to them, right, you're going to say the one thing that I love the most is, hey, hey, I'm Stacy. I'm interested in your storage facility. And they say, oh, you mean you're interested in a unit? Like, and you want to run a unit. And I said, oh, no. I'm interested in your storage facility, as in like, I'd like to buy your storage facility. And then they're just like, what? They're just like taken back, like, what? Most of the time when you talk to somebody on the phone, an owner on the phone, and you say that to them, it's going to surprise them, right? So, hey, I'm Stacy. I'm calling about, I'm interested in your store. I'm calling about your storage facility. I'm interested in your storage facility. And they say, oh, okay, yeah, you like to get a unit? We have 5x10s and 10x10s. And I say, oh, no. I'm not interested in a unit. I'm interested in buying your storage facility. Are you interested in selling it? Right? So that's the very first question that I always ask when I talk to a storage facility owner. All right. And I'm going to tell you that when you say that to everybody, they're always shocked. Always shocked. And I love that, because you want to get them into that. You want to shock and awe, right? It's a shock and awe syndrome, right? Because nobody is calling these people and asking them to buy their storage facility. Okay. All right. Okay. Next. So you want to talk to them. And then as you're talking to them, then you want to be asking questions like, oh, and they say, well, yes, actually, I am interested in selling my facility. Okay, awesome. Well, I own a couple of storage facilities right now, or I'm looking to buy a storage facility right now. Can you tell me about your facility? How many units do you have? And, how many units do you have? What are the prices that you have? I would really be interested in kind of learning more about your facility. I'm in the market right now to buy a storage facility. Right, so this is all you have to do, is just ask them and tell them and talk to them on the phone. Start building rapport with them and start getting as much information as you possibly can from them, all right, in that first call, okay? And if they are interested in selling, which you're going to call a lot of people and they're going to say, no, I'm not interested in selling, right? Of course, because that's how it is. I'm telling you that you will get more people saying yes than you would with a house. Right? People are interested. If you find the perfect type of storage facility, they will be interested in selling. Run down, needs help, not being managed properly, they will be interested in selling, right? For instance, I just put one under contract last week, actually the week right before Christmas. And they said, the week before Thanksgiving, and I called the guy up, and actually I could not find, there was no sign at this one. So it was a completely abandoned storage facility, and there was no sign. So what I did is I went onto Landglide. If you're not using Landglide, I highly recommend that you use Landglide. Get onto Landglide, and it pulls up the public information, and it tells you who the owner of the storage facility is, okay? And then you will be able to, and then from there, it had some company that was owning it. So I Googled the company, and then from Googling the company, it gave me information about that company. So I just called that company right up. And then somebody answered the phone that I think was like his cousin or something like that. And she's like, oh, it's my cousin. We're partners or whatever. And I said, okay, I'm trying to get to the touch of the owner. And so then she gave me the phone number to the owner. So I had to do a little bit of looking, a little bit of research to find who the owner was. But essentially, I got a hold of the owner. I basically said, hey, I'm the owner of, I'm in the market to buy a storage facility. Are you interested in selling? And he said, yes. I said, okay, well, tell me about the facility. I'm interested. I want to buy this if we can come to the right price. And so he started just telling me everything about the storage facility. On the phone, you want to sound confident. You want to sound like you know what you're doing. But honestly, it was really that easy. It was really that easy. Landglide, looking up who the owner is, and then Googling the owner, and then searching for phone numbers on the own number, and then just giving them a call. And then all the other ones, the phone numbers will be on the sign. Okay. All right. What is the most important document that you need to make a decision in buying a storage facility? What do you guys think it is? I want you to put in the chat what you think the most important document would be that you need to get from the seller in order to find in order to buy a storage facility. What would you need? All right. Now you can ask for all different kinds of things. You can ask for the P&L, surveys, tax information, anything that you can think of. And then you ask, like, is there, how many units? What's the price? Is there a gate? Does the gate work? Are there easements? Anything like that, right? So You ask them all different kinds of questions. You try to gather as much information as you possibly can. But the most important document that you want to make sure that you can get from is your rent roll. Everybody's right, rent roll, rent roll. Okay, now the ones that you're going to be talking to, the owners that you're going to be talking to, 95% of the time, I say 90% of the time, they will not have a rent roll. They will not have a rent roll. They won't. Okay? Because they are all cash. They're just taking money and they're that's it, and they're putting it in their pocket, right? Or maybe they're taking checks and cash, but they are certainly not taking credit cards. And they're most of the time not putting into QuickBooks, not managing their books. The Fayetteville location that I told you about, when I went to go buy that when I went to go buy it, it was he had a ledger. That's it, a ledger. And he just wrote in the ledger. And I'm going to tell you, most of the time when you talk to these owners, that's how they're running their business, is on paper. Just so you know, all right? Now, how in the heck do you fund these things, right? Most of the time, if you're buying these type of storage facilities that you're running around and if you're running around and driving around and trying to find storage facilities, most of the time banks are not going to lend on these, because commercial banks that lend on commercial products have to have income. And most of the time, you're going to have, and these types of transactions, you have 25 to 50% income. It's not going to be enough. Commercial banks want like 80 to 90% or higher to get banks. So now if you find one that you like that's like making a lot of money and stuff, you say, okay, well, maybe I should just buy this one. There's a good value add. I can maybe add some more units, or I could do some parking. This one might be good. You can take it to a commercial lender and then they might fund that. But if it's a rundown, horrible storage facility that's not being managed, then you're going to have private money. You're going to have private money, okay? Because if you want to buy these, I'm telling you, a bank will not do that, okay? What about managing? All right. Yes, you can wholesale selling. Sean's asking, can you wholesale these? Yes, I wholesale storage facilities as well. You can wholesale these. Is there anybody in this chat room that is interested in buying a storage facility? If you are interested in buying a storage facility, say, yes, I want to buy a storage facility. All right. Okay. So then you will know that people want to buy storage facilities all over the country. They want to buy storage facilities. Okay. Now, what about managing your storage facility? Okay, is it a lot of work? No, it's not a lot of work if you put your foot down and train your tenants. Once you've set everything up internally, you have your back office, you have everything online. We are 100% electronic in this business. Electronic, right? We don't have a ledger. We run our storage facilities from our phone. There's softwares out there that you can get, storage facility softwares that you run and manage from your phone, from your computer. We are 100% electronic. I never meet anybody to sign contracts. We don't have any offices. We only manage our storage facilities from our phone. All right. Now, you have to have internal systems to manage your auctions. You have to have internal systems to manage your calls. You have to have internal systems to manage everything, right? But you set those up inside your software, right? So that you can take your software and you can manage everything right in your software, right there. Beep, beep, beep. Auction. Oh yeah, B4 needs an auction. Put that there, and then it gives you the list of everything that you need to do. How awesome is that when you can run your business right from your phone? Say, yes, I want to run my business from my phone so that I can get out and go do more things that I want to do. Type that into the chat. Okay, good. All right. So what you have to do is you have to have a manager. You have to have a manager in the very beginning, right? One facility you can manage on your own if you want to, right? But after you get like 2 storage facilities, you really need to start getting a manager, right? Because I mean, calls are coming in all the time, and you just don't want to be that person that's answering calls all the time. Who wants to do that, right? So we're answering. We have 5 facilities. We're working on our 6th right now. We're answering calls all the time. But the funniest thing is that we have like 5 facilities active right now, and so we have about 400 doors. And I mean, we only get, like I saw today, we've had like 3 calls. That's it. 3 calls. That's it, right? So even if you have 5 or 6 storage facilities, it doesn't take a long time to run these, okay? All right, so you have phones, and then you have your bills. Inside your bills, you've got your software that you run from your phone, and that always includes your SEO and your website and stuff like that. So that's all included into the software that you get. You got to do some marketing, all right? You've got to do SEO, you've got to learn how to do social media marketing, online marketing, PPC, Google AdWords. So whatever budget you have for that is what you've got to do. Electric, you have to, runs about $50 a month or so, depending on how big they are. Pest control, yard work, and then you have your mortgage, you have taxes, and you have insurance, and that's it. So remember when I told you I'm trying to minimize my bills, all right? I love storage facilities because actually we don't have any bills. That's all just automatically drawn from our account every single month. We don't have to pay it, just like our electric and our water and our house and our internet is just electronic. We don't have any bills. We're not writing checks. We're not doing anything. It's just automatic. We don't have to think about that anymore. Yes. And yes, there are storage facility managers out there that will manage your facilities for you. We do this as well as many other many other companies out there as well. Okay. And I'll answer your questions in just a second. I'm finishing it up here in just a minute. Okay. What about tenants that don't pay? Storage wars, right? It's just like go on TV and you get to auction and hundreds of people come and you auction off your bid and everybody makes so much money. No, it's not how it works. Sorry, y'all, but this doesn't happen. You'll say like auction, you'll do the whole auction process. I'm not getting into the auction process because that's like a whole webinar in itself. But essentially, like you'll do the auction process through Georgia or through any state that you do. You figure out your auction process, and then you open up the door. Actually, you wait for the people to come, and like 1 or 2 or 3 people show up, and then you open the door up, and it's a whole bunch of crap. And then the person there says, "Yeah, I'll give you $25 for it," and that's how it works every single time. Okay. All right. So no, there is no storage wars. And the auction process, I told you, you have an auction process for each state. You have to learn what your auction process is. I have Legal Shield. I just called my Legal Shield up here in Georgia, and I basically said, what's the auction process? How do I do it? What do I need to do? And they told me the whole process, and then we created a system for it. And then that system got put into our storage software, and then we do that system right through the software every single month. And there's a separate process for vehicles and units. Okay, so 2 separate processes for your auction process in your state. Okay, so make sure you learn those. Okay, and then you want to train your tenants. Train your tenants. Right into the chat. Train your tenants. Okay. So you have to automate everything, right? So we only take credit cards and we only draft on the 1st of the month. That's it. Okay. So we don't take cash. We don't take checks, right? I don't have time to be driving to go to a bank, right? I just don't have time to be doing that. So if you, in the very beginning, train your tenants to do what you want them to do, guess what? They'll do what you want you to do. Okay. So you have to train your tenants and you have to create systems within there, right? So I can't get into all that in just the time frame, 45 minutes that we have, right? But you have to be able to do that, just so you know. And here is the final example. Here's Miss Lillian Self-Storage. So our storage facilities are Miss Lillian Self-Storage. Lillian is our daughter, right? All of our storage facilities are all for her, all right? And that is our legacy, is to be able to hand these over to her. She goes to the storage facility. She's like always there. She's like, this is so boring, and I'm like, what? This is your legacy. This is yours. She's just like, I'm bored. Can I watch Peppa Pig? Anyway, so this is an example, okay, of one. So everybody's asking about prices, okay? The Fayetteville location had had 64 units. You can write this down, 64 units, 50 parking spaces, around 50 parking spaces, okay? And we paid $250,000 for that, okay? You're going to be on average per square foot for a storage facility, maybe $6 to $7, something like that, $6 to $7 per square foot. So you always want to know the square foot of your storage facility, and then you can kind of average. But every area is different. California, if you're on here from California, definitely do not listen to that price. This is more like kind of eastern area. You have to learn what your square footage is for your area. So I recommend that you go into the Facebook group and say, hey, I'm in Ohio. How much is the cost per square footage for a storage facility here in this area? All right. In our area, it's around $6 to $7 per square foot. But essentially, I don't even pay that much. All right. So $250,000. What I do is I look at the opportunity. The opportunity. This one was run to the ground. All right. When you go to the parking and you looked at the parking, it was just all over the place. The guy was just like, yeah, bring it in, find a spot. Right. He was taking cash only. He had a ledger. He did not have anything online, nothing at all. He was 80 years old. He was ready to retire. And then all of the units were full, but he was only collecting 25% of the rent. All right. He was making maybe $2,500 a month. All right. So when I calculated it up, I looked at it like this, like, okay, 64 units. There was there's 10 by 10s that are regular around $60. And then you have to check your competition, right? So go online and check your competition to see what everybody's offering. Right? Checked my competition. On average, it was 10 by 10, $60 a square foot. And on average, 10 by 20 is $100 a square foot. $100 a unit, not a unit, 60 and $100. So I averaged those out to $75. I multiplied it by 64, which came out to what? If somebody wants to calculate that out, it was like $4,000 or something like that. And then I did the same exact thing for the parking. I went around and kind of calculated in my head, okay, I think I can do boom, 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 all the way around, at least 50 to 60 parking spaces. So I calculated $75 on average for parking, which was, so 50 times 75 came out to what? If somebody wants to calculate that. All right. So I added both two of those numbers together, and guess what? He was making $2,500 and he could have been making $7,500, right? At least. So for me, in my mind, when I looked at this, I said, this is an opportunity I do not want to miss. All right. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, say, yes, that makes sense. You want to look at the opportunity of what you're going to be making. Matters what you want. If you need to make sure that you have enough income coming in to pay your mortgage, whatever your mortgage is. It's going to take you at least 6 months to a year to build this kind of a facility back up. But at least just make sure that you have enough money to pay your mortgage, okay? And pay your bills. You might have to come out of pocket a little bit, but make it. And that's what I said. I was like, he's making $2,500 a month, $2,500 to $3,000. I can pay my mortgage. I can pay the expenses, and I can just get this started, break even for the first couple of months, and then after that. Man, that thing is full now, 100% full after 2 years, and we're making $7,500 to $8,000 a month, and our mortgage is just $2,000 a month. All right, that's what I call passive income. If you want that kind of money, that's what you need to be looking at. Now, I borrow the money from a private lender, and then I borrow the money from a private lender, and then I borrow it for interest only for 2 years, and then 3 years, and I refi out after 3 years. Okay. Now, that is what I do on my facilities, on my storage facilities. Okay, so we're running out of time. Unfortunately, I have to get on to the next call at 4 o'clock. But I want you guys to please consider the Super Secret Investor Society. I'm going to start that. I'm going to go over that in just a second. Okay. So here's all my information. SouthAtlantaREIA.com, MissLillian.com, Diamond in the Rough is my rehabbing company. A Super Secret Investor Society is all of my my masterminds that I have, and then StacyRossetti.com is me and all of the different stuff I do as well too. So please check out all those websites. And I want you to real fast just check out, I mean, just consider joining my super secret mastermind. Okay. It's a self-storage mastermind. It's going to start in January. It's $497 a month. And what I'm going to be doing is it's two-hour meetings every single month, right? So virtual group meetings. I'll have anywhere from 10 to 20 people in that group. Okay. And then we'll meet virtually for 2 hours. One is at lunchtime, one is going to be in the evening time. All right, twice a month, and we will have masterminds right there with all of us in the group. Okay, and then we're going to do 2 face-to-face meetings every single year, one in the spring, one in the fall. And it's going to be just 2 days of us just like masterminding. Everybody's going to have a chance to speak about their company, what they're doing, the wins and the challenges. And we're all going to help each other grow our businesses. And I'll probably get some speakers to come in, etc. So it'll be 2-day group meetings. And then on top of that, we have our driving for storage facilities day twice a year. We're going to do that as well too, where we drive around and we're going to find some storage facilities and we're going to call them up and we're going to practice that as well too. Okay. And then we have I use what's called Coach Accountable, which is an accountability software where you're going to get in and you're going to be able to put the goals that you want. And then this software is where we can hold each other accountable. We're going to go through and then step-by-step process of everything that you're doing, everything that you're learning, all as a group, all in the mastermind. We'll be able to follow your goals and set it up so that you can actually get this done. That's a 12-month commitment. So you have to do this for the year. So basically, you're going to find you're going to get in, you're going to learn how to find them. You're going to find a storage facility. You're going to buy it. You're going to learn how to manage it. I'm going to help you set it up through the whole process. And in 1 year, you're going to get that thing running and have a good storage facility for passive income. And even if you're in a different state, this is a virtual mastermind, and then you just have to come here for the two live mastermind meetings. Okay, so you fly here and do that. But the monthly meetings twice a month are virtual, so anybody in the state can do that. So if you're serious about learning how to invest in storage facilities, then please take a look at the Super Secret Mastermind at StaceyRossetti.com or email Stacey@StaceyRossetti.com. Okay, Stacey@StaceyRossetti.com is my email. Email me and say, yes, I'm interested in the mastermind, and I will send you all the information for that. We will start in January for that, okay? And unfortunately, we ran out of time for questions, and I know everybody has questions. So if you have any specific questions, just email me. All right, and I can answer your questions for that as well too, okay? And honestly, 45 minutes is not enough time to be doing a whole presentation on storage investing. So you've got to get involved and start getting the mastermind so I can really help you to do that, okay? All right, thank you guys. I'm moving on to the next one, which is about money, and actually Karen will teach you how to find money, okay? So that's the next one, and let me get into that one here because I am right here. Hang on just a second. I'm going to send you the link to the next one right here. Invite people. Oops. Here is the link to the next webinar, so y'all can go in and hang out with us even more and learn about some money. All right. Thank you guys. Have a good day. I'll see you guys at the next webinar. Bye.